So we got a little bit of red in this market right now. We've been waiting for this dip. We're going to take a look at the charts. I'm going to give you guys an update on that. Also, we're going to be talking about some bullish news for 3 projects that are on the low cap gems list right now that have major potential. You're going to want to stick around for that. Welcome to Everything Currency. This is a show where we talk about everything crypto and mo. I'm your host Jay, and today, let's talk about some of this red going on in the market right now. So looking at these crypto bubbles right here, it's a lot of red, maybe around 10 to 20% down on average across the entire market. We do see Ronin is up, we got SC up, Astar is up, and we have Tau up right now. So shout out to everybody looking at the Tau pad. If you're in the Telegram group, we've been talking about that. So speaking of the Telegram group, gonna be closing that up pretty soon. So if you want to get in, you got to get in right now. If you don't want to pay for it, it will be a free Telegram group, but we're going to start charging in the bull market for some of the scammers and some other things like that. So if you guys want to get in, leave me a comment and I'll get you up in there. So overall, the market is looking pretty red today, but this is a good thing to me. So let's take a look at this Bitcoin chart. When we look at the Bitcoin chart right here, we can see if we zoom in a little bit, we can see we're dipping below this blue line, which is a 13 moving average, and we're landing right on top of this trend line that is this rising wedge pattern, or rising wedge pattern right here. And we don't want to fall below this yellow line, because then we'll fall back into this pattern. Once we get below this yellow line, and if we close anywhere in here, we'll probably come like this, and then we're going down here. And we don't need to go back down and start testing the low 30s. The 39K is the last time we want to go that low. We want to stay right here at 39K and start bouncing from this level. And it's showing a lot of confluence with the previous market. It's like a lot of the same things have been happening, breaking out of this pattern, parabolic bull run, and then it's over. So breaking out of this pattern, parabolic bull run should be coming, and then it's over. But there's no ETF news. We do know that the halving is coming up. When we look at the halving chart, we can see that the halving is coming in a couple months. It's only on March 24th. That's going to fly by pretty quick. So I'm thinking maybe we go sideways or even dip a little bit more into this halving before we go higher. But I'd much rather see that we just kind of go sideways and then we continue up from there. But what usually happens is before the halving, there's usually a dip, and this dip gets bought up very, very quick. If we look at this halving in 2020, you can see there's a dip right here. Yeah, it was the COVID dip, but it still dipped. Can't count it out. Over here in the previous market before that, there was a nice dip before the halving from about $763 down to about $500. Doesn't seem like that much now, but back then that was a lot. That was a lot. That would have been 30% dip or something like that. So we haven't seen that in this market yet. So this dip, if we just kind of hold it here, it would be kind of the best case scenario for this to actually play out and be the most bullish that it could be. So what I want to see is what I've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. Let's wick down here, which is what we're doing. We came right to this line that we talked about in the last video at 39,200, and now it looks like we want to start recovering back up. That would be our most bullish scenario, holding this 13 moving average. But hey, we got a week. Let's see. We got a week. We start closing below it, then it's going to take even longer, maybe even more past the halving, and then I can see us maybe even coming to some lower levels, 36,000 or something like that. But we shall see. Right now, it is looking good. It's looking good right now. And the ETF news has came and gone. The halving news is coming, but we have this news. This is some very bullish news right here. We have Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia. My bad, y'all. Saudi Arabia. And I probably still said that wrong with my if you're from there, my bad. And Qatar rumored 1 million BTC buy could come next week. according to this analyst. The two governments are rumored to be sizing up and buying around 1 million Bitcoin, not $1 million, 1 million. The Saudi government is reportedly preparing to spend 500 billion on the investment. Listen, if they want 1 million Bitcoin, it's going to cost them a lot more than that, because as they buy it, the price is going to go up. So I will say they're probably already been buying. This is something that they've been planning, and this is something that this analyst knows about. They already been purchasing up this Bitcoin, doing a lot of it OTC, but also maybe doing some high frequency trading, which is just, if you want to buy a lot of Bitcoin, you get a bot to buy $1 a million times, right? And then you don't mess with the price and stuff like that. But that's how whales accumulate this Bitcoin. Either way, they're going to be accumulating, and them accumulating that has to be creating some type of buy pressure. If they haven't started doing it yet, then that could be the perfect catalyst for this price to start shooting, when we don't seem to be having a catalyst. But if they're willing to do this, I'm thinking that they're probably going to do it before the halving. Listen, people are not stupid. People are seeing these markets go in cycles. I could talk to people who were here 2016, 2015. They're seeing the cycles repeat. This is my third time seeing the cycle repeat. It's always very different than the last cycle. That's why I am inviting in new ideas, but it is also repeating. And also, this is not financial advice. It cannot repeat. It could do the total opposite. As a matter of fact, things repeated from 2015 until now, and there's still a bunch of people who've been here that long who didn't take advantage of it, who are not doing as well as they could be doing. So you want to knuckle in, double down. Let's get it right now. This is the EC token list right here. These are the tokens that we talked about over this past year, but this is pretty much the tokens that I talked about on the channel overall. And this is majority of the tokens that I'm bullish on. Now, I always talk about how cryptos in every industry going to be making, blockchain is a good use case. I'm a blockchain enthusiast, so anywhere where I see a blockchain helping out, I'm enthusiastic about it. But these are the tokens that I actually like, and the ones that I actually put my money behind. These are the Q4 mentions that we're focusing on right here, and Karate has been one of my favorites and becoming more and more one of my favorites. And one of the main reasons that it's becoming my favorites is not because it is my top performer. Track is performing pretty good, RVST is performing pretty good, so is G Swift and StrikeX, and everything's performing pretty good. But Karate is actually fun. It's actually fun to use the app and to watch the events. It's like, if you're into combat sports, then Karate is pretty dope. So here's something that's actually pretty dope to see. It's Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and this guy. Sorry if I don't know who he is. I don't really follow these guys like that, but I do know that, last time with Omi, they had a similar setting like this. They did a podcast and they talked about Omi, but it was a setup. It was actually some shill that they were trying to do so that they could pump their own bags. This one, I don't know if it's a setup or a shill or not, but everything that he said about Karate is true and pretty dope. So y'all check this out.
Him and George St. Pierre are commenting what's called the Karate Combat League. It's a new fighting format, which is basically like a mixed martial arts karate format. You're not allowed to grapple. You're not allowed to clinch unless you're actively striking. And if someone goes to the ground, you have 5 seconds to ground and pound before both fighters are stood back up.
And it's in a conversation pit.
No,
a giant conversation pit.
So it has slanted 45-degree walls that could be used for the combat. You could put other fighters against it, or you can actually jump off of it. And so I got to host this fight the other day, which was the trilogy fight, Pettis versus Benson Henderson. These two guys have fought in the past twice, and Pettis won both fights. They fought again, but the undercard for this was some people that have been in the UFC, just all these combat greats. And I got to host it alongside GSP, potentially the greatest combat athlete of all time, and Boss Rutan. When I tell you this was the fiercest combat I've ever seen in any format in my entire life, boxing and MMA included, the knockout rate is like 70%.
That's great.
People were getting pulled out on stretchers. It was a bloodbath. Women covered head to toe in blood. Incredible.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. The women on Karate Combat be throwing down, like they be going in. But anyways, let's get back to some more things going on in the crypto market. So that's bullish. I know you guys can see that's bullish for the Karate Combat token. And I think this will gain traction. It's not quite UFC They don't really allow like jiu-jitsu and stuff, and it's not quite boxing because they allow kicking and stuff. So it's somewhere in the middle. I think it's pretty dope. I think it adds to that market of combat sports. So I think it's well positioned in there. And being at a low price right now, it's pretty crazy. The reason I'm bringing it up is because if you download the app, you put some karate tokens in the app, and you participate, they airdropped me twice already. Free money. Crypto sentiment right now. Are we bullish? I said I'm not sure. I'm about 50% right now because I want to see the way that this dip goes out. I'm more on the bullish side, but if we start dipping below that line, it's looking bad. And Bitcoin is actually kind of already proving that it wants to start going back up right here, because it was like 39. No, it's back at 4,200 as of recording this video. It just hit 4,300. That's pretty interesting. But right here, the market thinks that we're somewhat bullish. This kind of coincides with the psychology of the market chart that shows that we're somewhere in the belief stage. People are starting to believe that the market is bullish again. The optimism is picking up, and a lot of people are happy that there's a dip today, but a lot of people are not even going to buy this dip. It's kind of funny how that works overall. But nonetheless, says that we're in a somewhat bullish territory according to everybody on here. And I'm showing this because when this thing is up here and we're talking about we're totally bullish and the entire market is totally bullish, I'm gonna start saying it's time for us to get out. That's a sell signal. That's a sell signal when everybody's up here and totally bullish. So it's good to see that we're not up here. So last but not least, the Luxo ecosystem is kicking off with the mainnet of the universal profiles, and the Chillwhales NFT has been going crazy. So with 52,000, about to be 53,000 Luxo sold, with highest sold of 500 Luxo already for some of these more rare ones. But the activity, it's not bad. We got 70 Luxo 30 minutes ago. They're selling for around 20. We're kind of seeing a low of around 20, but the price right now has dropped. The floor has dropped right now, and I think this is a very undervalued because of the price right now. People are wondering what's going to happen next, and usually in that period of time is usually the best time to buy. So looking at some of these Luxo at a floor of 14 right now, especially when Luxo is below $10, is crazy. But this is the first PFP in the Luxo ecosystem, so I think it will have some predominance. I think it will have some bullishness. I think it could return to the levels of double of where it's at right now. So let me know what you guys think about these Chillwhale NFTs. If you are a NFT person, let me know. If you're not into NFTs, then yeah, you can skip this part of the video. But if you're looking at my daily checklist, which you can get access to from my Telegram, you will see that I've been trading these. You can see on that list, trading some Chillwhales. So let me know what you guys think about the video. Is there anything that you guys would like me to make a video about? Leave me a comment in the comment box of any cryptos, any help that you need, tutorials, things like that. Y'all think positive and positive things will happen. RIP to crypto roots, and remember, never finish a negative statement about currency. Till next time, peace.